Hey everybody, it's Felipe Miranda, your Southwest Florida Realtor, and today I'm going to give you 5 reasons why you may not want to move to Naples, Florida. Stay tuned. Now guys, these are not in any specific order, okay? But stay tuned because numbers 3 and number 5 are very important. If you guys are asking yourselves, why is Felipe going to give me 5 reasons not to move to Naples when he's a realtor in Naples, in Southwest Florida? Well, people that have worked with me in the past will tell you this. I like honesty, I like to be upfront. I'm a straight shooter, just want to be straightforward, and I want to make sure that you're making the best decision for yourself and for your family before you buy in Southwest Florida. Southwest Florida is paradise, but there are 5 reasons that I put together that could be an issue, or at least you should be aware of before considering a move to Southwest Florida. Number 1, it's very expensive in Naples right now. So Southwest Florida in general has seen about a 40 to 45%, Naples specifically 45% appreciation year over year, similar numbers the year before. Southwest Florida as a general, as a whole, is about 39%, 39.6% appreciation. So you're seeing homes almost literally double in value in 2 years. So the price of homes, the median price of home was $672,500. Last year. So that's pretty high. Also, rental rates have been going up exponentially because the price of homes are going up. Obviously, the rental rates go up. So if you're looking to move to Naples, you want to open up your wallet and don't cry when you go to the bank because you're going to spend some money. It'll be worth it, but it's not going to be cheap. One thing I like to say, living in Naples is definitely a privilege. Number 2, insurance. What we're seeing is a mini insurance crisis going on right now. So what's happening is insurance companies are not insuring homes that have older roofs. So if you see a home that has maybe a 10-year-old roof or something like that, chances are you're not going to get insurance. Or that insurance company is going to make sure you sign some kind of an agreement saying, hey, we'll let you buy the house, we'll insure the house, but you have to promise us that within 30 days you're going to replace the roof. Now, what's happening is the way the Florida laws are written, and again, I'm no insurance expert, but this is by consultations that I've had with local insurance experts and people that I have used in the past. And what's happening is basically in the state of Florida, the way the laws are written is if there's anywhere where the winds go over 40 miles an hour, the roofing companies basically go in, start knocking on doors, and they have people sign a contract. It's basically an assignment of rights. So they're basically assigning the roofing company the authority to go after the insurance companies to replace those roofs, and basically they do their inspections and they're kind of going around and replacing roofs that maybe didn't need replacement. Again, I'm no expert in the subject, but I'm just telling you that in a nutshell, what's happening is the insurance companies are saying, hey, you want to buy a home that has an older roof? We want to make sure that we're not liable for that. So you either replace the roof before you buy it or right after you buy it. I have heard also that there are insurance companies that'll make the client sign a waiver, basically promising that if there is a storm where the wind is over 40 miles an hour, that they'll basically sign a form saying, hey, I'm not going to come after you for a new roof if that's the case, right? So that's something to watch out for. A lot of people don't know about it, but it's real and it's happening right now. Number 3, this one may seem pretty obvious, but I want to talk to you guys a little bit about it, which is hurricanes, right? Storms, summer storms. We're heading into the summer right now, and I moved from Massachusetts 9 years ago, and when I first moved here, I was pretty much slightly terrified of hurricanes because when you hear in the news there's a hurricane coming in Florida, you don't really know, you're not living it, you're not expecting it. But when, you live in Massachusetts like I live, they say a blizzard's coming and it's like, oh, okay, it's just a blizzard, no big deal, not the end of the world, right? So it's kind of the same thing when you live in Florida. You get used to it. You do want to prepare, you want to make sure you have water in your house, some food. But the reality is this, the way my family does it, the way I do it is if there's a hurricane coming, I have a plan in place where we're just going to leave. We'll go to Orlando, or we're going to hop on a plane. We'll go to another state. And you want to make sure that you have a contingency plan, right? You want to have something in place where, hey, if this hurricane's coming down and I'm going to stay at home, well, then you can buy maybe whole house generator, right? It's between, I think, $15,000 and $25,000, depending how big your home is. But that's a worth investment. It's worth it if you're planning on just kind of staying, because the hurricanes themselves, we have a pretty good hurricane code here in Florida. So if your home is built after 2004, 2005, and you're in a concrete block, stucco type home, which is basically the majority of the houses, you're most likely going to be safe. But the issue you have is after the storm, right? If you have a big power outage, you're going to be, 7 days without power, you have water issues, things like that. You want to make sure that you're protected against that. So it's very important that you have a contingency plan for a hurricane or a storm. There's a bunch of tropical storms, the power may go out for a few hours. So just make sure you have some water laying around, maybe some gasoline if you're going to have a generator or whatever your plan is. But you definitely want to have a plan on that. That is something that is concerning to some people. It was very much concerning to me, but I got over it really quickly. And when Irma came, we actually left the state and we stayed out for about 2 weeks. We came back when there was gasoline, there was water, there was food. But that's something you do want to think about. Okay, there are hurricanes. And with that, talking about the summer, the summer is hot, right? I didn't want to make it a point to say, hey, Florida is really hot. You already know that. Florida's hot, okay? It's hot, it's muggy in the summer. There's no way around it. Right now, I'm in an air-conditioned room. When I leave here, I'm going to get an air-conditioned car and I'm going to drive home. So everywhere you go, there's going to be AC. I do love going to the beach in the summer because it's a lot quieter. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute, but it's a lot quieter in the summer here. A lot of the snowbirds go away. So, if you like to go to the beach, you want to enjoy your pool. Those are all things to do. And that's a big recommendation. If you're buying a home here in Florida that has a pool, you want to make sure there's an enclosed lanai because there's bugs, right? There's always going to be bugs. It's Florida. So an enclosed lanai will make a huge difference in your pool and your lifestyle if you are buying a house with a pool or even without a pool. I always recommend, if you're buying a house, a lot of times new constructions, if you're buying new construction, they don't come with the enclosed lanai. It's money well spent. Make sure you get that enclosed. So, hurricanes, bugs, weather, those can all be a deterrent. I've been here, like I said, for about 9 years. I've met maybe 2-3 people that have said that they are going to leave the state. They're going to leave the state of Florida because they think it's just too hot. They don't like the weather. They prefer the cold. They'll go back to Ohio. I think one person was from Ohio. And they're going to live that life, and that's fine. If you're one of those 3 people out of who knows thousands that think that way, that's nothing wrong with that. But it's important that you do know, though, that will be an issue, right? If you have a serious problem with the heat, Florida is not for you. Southwest Florida, Naples is not for you. And it is what it is. And another point with that I just thought about, you definitely, when you move down here, you definitely want to have pest control. Okay, you do not want to skimp on that. You hire a pest control company. I use a fantastic pest control company. We've used them for years. And we literally don't see any bugs around the house. If you don't have pest control, if your community doesn't do it, or if you choose not to do it, you will find, you're going to find, they call them palmetto bugs. They're basically like cockroaches, You're going to find that. You're going to find, bugs and whatever, all kinds of bugs. So ants. So you definitely want to have your home sprayed periodically. On the exterior, we do the interior as well in our house. My wife can't stand seeing one bug in the house. So we definitely get that done, and it's just, bugs are just not a problem for us. So I definitely recommend thinking about that as well if you're looking to buy here in Southwest Florida. Reason number 4, season time. Okay, so the season here in Florida is very busy. So Naples is very seasonal. There's some areas that are not as seasonal as others. Like if you go to the East Coast, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, still very seasonal, but not as much as Naples. Naples is very, very seasonal. So we have a term that we use here. It's a very simple term that everybody knows called snowbirds, right? So you have the people that are living up north, basically during the summers here, where the summers are very nice, where they're from, whether it's, like I said, Ohio, New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, New England, Midwest, wherever you're from, right? Minnesota. So they'll go back home, enjoy the summers there. And then when it gets really cold up there, they'll come down and enjoy the winter here. So they're called snowbirds. So when the snowbirds come, the reality is it's very busy. There's no other way to slice it, right? There's some main roads in Naples like Immokalee Road. There's a lot of new construction coming up at the very, like we call it, east or northeast Naples. And Immokalee Road kind of takes you out there, and you're going to see there's a lot of new constructions, a lot of new homes coming out there. And that area gets very, very, very congested, very busy. I mean, in general, Naples, just overall, South Naples, Fifth Ave, Mercado, everywhere that you want to go, a seat to table, anywhere that anybody wants to go. Restaurants, you're going to have to make your reservations, a month ahead. You can't just basically, it's a Saturday night and you say, hey, you know what, let's go try out this new restaurant. Well, chances are you're not going to get it, right? You're going to have to make your reservations, plan ahead. It's going to be very busy. So we're not quite as busy as the East Coast, but it can get traffic. You will want to account for traffic, and that can be a deterrent to some people. If you want to buy a property somewhere where it's very quiet all year round, you want to have the real, kind of secluded, beachy type of vibe. You may want to go a little bit northern of where we are, the northern parts. Like if you go to like a Port Charlotte, if you go to Inglewood, or Venice, you're going to find that it's going to be a little slower paced. Also, there's not going to be much to do up there. The home prices will be slightly lower, and you won't be as affected by a season. But that's something I wanted to bring up because this is actually turning a lot of people off, and there are people actually selling their homes because the market is so high right now. People selling their homes, and they're saying, I've had a little too much in Naples. It's not what it used to be. Years ago, it used to be very quiet. And it's definitely not that. Naples is a big, small city right now. Again, it's not your Fort Lauderdale, it's not your Miami, but it's getting busier. It's getting bigger. There's a lot of new construction coming up everywhere. Like I said, East Naples, Northeast Naples, a lot of new construction coming up. Huge communities, 1,200 homes, 1,500 homes. So North Naples is pretty much maxed out. There's very few new build opportunities there. Southeast Naples, they're still, going towards Marco Island. There's still some opportunity out there. There are new builds. I actually just sold one at Esplanade by the Islands, which is a little bit secluded out there in a beautiful area, close to Fifth Ave, close to Marco Island, again, dead area. So there's some new build opportunities a little bit out, but the mainstream kind of areas in Naples, if you look, it's starting to get maxed out. Number 5, demographics. This may or may not be an issue for you, but the median age in Naples is about 65 years old. I think 65.4 years old. So this may or may not be an issue for you, but if you are a younger couple, or you're a younger person and you want to party a lot, you want a lot of nightlife, Naples may or may not be the place for you. And I'll tell you that because there are some pretty hopping places in Naples. Mercado would be one of them. Fifth Ave, a lot of the restaurants become lounges or bars or clubs. They kind of have a pretty cool vibe to them, and it's getting better. I think Naples is getting younger slowly, but in general, it's an older population, right? So you have to understand it is what it is, right? If you look at Tampa or even Fort Myers, you go north to Fort Myers, Cape Coral, the median age is about 40 years old. I'm your typical, I'm 40 years old, married, 2 kids, so I'm the typical, kind of Fort Myers, Cape Coral demographic. So Naples would be slightly older, maybe, like I said, around 65. So that's something for you to think about. If you want a place that's got a bunch of young people, there's FGCU. If you want a lot of college-age kids, you like to party and all that, FGCU does have, there's a pretty large college here. There's FSW. But again, it's going to be nothing like if you go to Miami or if you go to Fort Lauderdale. What I tell people, and this is what I feel, is I also love going out. I love going out at night with my wife. I love going to clubs and restaurants, and I do enjoy doing that. And Miami's only an hour and a half. Fort Lauderdale, an hour and a half away. Miami's pretty close to Lauderdale, so under 2 hours we're in Miami. Tampa, same thing's about 1 hour and a half. So if you do want to go out to the younger nightlife and have a good time that way, it's an easy drive. Or if you go to Mercado, it's pretty poppin'. There's a few different places you can go in Mercado. There's a Blue Martini, there's Cavo, the pub. Fifth Avenue, Bartuli. There's a few different bars there. There's some really happening places at night. So Naples, don't write off Naples is what I'm saying, but I just want to be upfront that Naples is not going to offer you the crazy, young, hip, nightlife that you may find in other places, other bigger cities, but it's still going to give you a pretty good bang for your buck. So it exists, it's getting better, but it's something I wanted to bring up, that if that's really important to you, you may want to maybe spend some time, visit, and see if that's really for you. All right, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I try to be as transparent as possible. Please leave in the comments if you think I missed anything, or if you don't agree with some of my points. I am not going to do a video as to why you should move to Naples, because I think it's pretty obvious. I mean, the pros are huge. The quality of life you can have in here, the weather, which I said can be the con to some people, is the pro to most people, probably 98 to 99% of the people. That's a pro. There's just so many reasons why you want to be here. Like I said, it's a privilege to live in Naples. It is on the expensive side, but it's just fantastic. So I'm not going to do a video on the pros, but definitely I think the cons was important, so that you can think about some of the things. Like I said, insurance is a big thing. A lot of times people don't think about that. But what I'd love for you to do is, if you have any more questions, I'd love for you to pick up your phone and call me or send me an email. I would love to help you. If you are looking to buy in Naples, whether it's a new construction or a resale, and I say Naples, but really I mean Southwest Florida, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Bonita Springs, Estero. This is my area, guys. I love living here. This is where I live, I breathe, I study the market, and I'd love to be able to help you guys out. I really love hearing from you when you guys call me about my videos. It's just why I keep doing this. I do it for you. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next video.